popular band who've been away from the scene for some 3 years. Yes, British rockers Dogs Damour are back after an extended break with a brand new album titled More Uncharted Heights of Disgrace, which will be released on the 4th of May. During their time away from the band, vocalist Tyla relocated to Los Angeles, where he continued working on his book of poetry and played a few solo acoustic shows. Meanwhile, Steve toured with the Last Bandits, Joe gigged with Andy McCoy's Shooting Gallery, and Bam Bam manned the drum stool for the Wild Hearts. However, late last year, the Dogs decided that the time was right to get cracking on the new album. Unfortunately, Joe wasn't available, so the band drafted in Daryl on guitar. We travelled down to the Dogs' rehearsal studio in East Sussex to find out more about Daryl, the new album, and surprisingly, the band's new, more restrained lifestyle. Here's our exclusive report.
Well, it's a long way to wander from the water of green to the land of oblivion. Seven streets where the heart fell poor, the boogie boy insanity. Left from the streets by angels in the night, and I'm dead the next morning. With the glide, another junction gets passed away. What's that? What's happening?
The reason we had a break was just things went dreadfully wrong, and you know, I was too fucked up to move anymore, and nothing was gelling. It just went AWOL, you know, too much craziness and not enough haziness.
So why did you decide that the time was right now to get the band back together?
I don't know. It's, well, why is the time right for anything, really, to do anything? I just felt, I always go by gut instinct and what I do, you know, no matter what people tell me. That's why I get in so much trouble usually. And so I just thought it was right, so, you know.
Phoning me up and reversing the bloody charge, saying let's get the band back.
It was just like, I mean, I'm a great believer in fate as well. I mean, I rang him up and he was having a bad day, so it was good, and Steve was having a worse day, you know, with the constabulary. And it was really bizarre. I mean, meeting Daryl within an hour of getting back to England and not, you know, auditioning any guitarist whatsoever except him. Not even auditioning, really. How we found Daryl was, like I say, like a fate sort of thing. I'd bumped into him about 5 years ago, and in the party days, and just like hung out with him for a day or two, and we went around places and got drunk, and then we went our separate ways. Then I think Steve had bumped into him at one, I'd gone to see him with some band. I think it might have been, what's it, the Crybabies, and then Bam was talking to this guy.
He was a promoter.
He was a promoter, and he knew him, and basically when I'd got there to Bam's after coming from America to here, Bam rang him up. Within an hour he came round with a bottle of wine. I just played him all the new songs on acoustic guitar. He was playing slide, and I went, great, got the job, what are you doing? And he's just put it, you know, put the fun back into what we were about in the first place.
And
before we all got
he's a
tainted.
great player as well. He's played in lots of different bands, like from punk bands and rock and roll. He plays everything. And I always used to play with Joe a lot on stage, you know. And I was dreading like losing Joe and Joe not joining the band. But when Daryl joined, I was just like, and they're sitting in the hallway playing guitar. I was in the kitchen drinking his Beaujolais, going, that's it, done, sorted.
Well, I don't sleep with no gun for a pillow. It turns on separate my dog. miss the addiction. I miss the addiction. I miss the addiction. Oh, I miss the addiction.
The rebirth of the Dogs Damour has also been aided by their reappraisal of the rock and roll lifestyle and how it relates to the 1990s.
Where do we fit in? I don't think we fit in anywhere. Sometimes I feel like a time traveller or something because I'm lost in other things that I read about and do. And with regards to the sex, drugs and rock and roll, you know, that's such a horrible cliche anyway. It's, you know, people in bands wonder why they don't get respect, you know, and it's like they're all fucking sexists, or, you know, they don't give credit to other people, and they're just like, yeah, you know. I mean, sure, everyone wants to do it, you know, like when you're, I don't know, 15 or 16, you just want to, you're going through that thing, and some people get stuck in that mould of being 15 and 16. When they're 29, they're still doing it, you know what I mean?
But you have to create something at the end of it. You can't just do it for the sake of it.
It's just like, it gets boring, really, you know, and there's, you know, it's not very nice waking up every day with your head down the toilet.
Teenage horses cracking around them like mats. I'll back to the town and that's okay. Better give me all the horses you all see. I'm on the floor and you're lying. Shit on, baby, your time. Give me a tip. Mr. Addiction. It's a tip. Mr. Addiction.
I do take drugs and I do still drink, you know, alcohol, and but it's like, it's no good if you smoke like, you know, like a bag of grass and get so out your head that you can't do it. You can still do it to certain stages, you know, and it's also interesting to do things sober, because that for me is like having a drug sometimes, and it's kind of scary, you know, you get shaky and it's like, and you think, wow, this is weird, and it's like having speed, but you haven't taken anything, and you think, God, all the years I used to spend 15 quid on getting likes to make me feel like this, and you know, and it comes out of a Nescafe jar, you know, so it's like, there's just all interesting. I mean, you know, I wrote Bulletproof Poet completely straight, you know, and I wrote Princess Valium completely straight, and then when we recorded it, I was at my head on, like, Absolute Vodka or something, you know.
Every time the sun went down, she put it in her arm. She's Betty Blue on China White, yeah. It takes away her charm. She put it in her
Despite the traumas that the band have had to endure, Tyler is still keen to point out that the lyrics should be perceived in a positive light by the listener.
Hopefully, you know, people will you know, understand the lyrics, and obviously the music just speaks for itself, but, you know, like Scared of Dying is a song about what actually went wrong and, you know, trying to explain it, and then all the other ones are like, sort of, if they're not sort of an autobiography or whatever, it's, you know, it's just what I see is going on. That's like, you don't have to live in Hollywood, you can live in Wolverhampton, you can live in Birmingham, you can live in Glasgow, you know, it's like, maybe the weather's better, but it's all the same, you know, and people are always looking, you know, I always thought, wow, America, great, New York, and it's like, it's horrible, you know, and it's just, hopefully, yeah, well, it is, I mean, I've always written, you know, every Dogs album is about what we're doing and trying to explain that, you know, this is going on and that's going on, and it all kind of got messed up in a big sort of a bottle of Jack Daniels and like, you know, party 24 hours a day, completely fucking out of it, you know, just going to the next one to another, and it kind of lost track of what I was actually trying to do in the first place, you know, which was like document things so that, you know, the kids can like not stay up in Leeds and go, look, God, we're never going to do anything. It's like, just you can go anywhere, you can do anything. The world's massive. You don't need any money to do it. I've got no money whatsoever. I've got about £3.50, really. I haven't got a bank account, I haven't got anywhere to live, but I'm just doing it. Hopefully the album will surprise our fans, because it's like a burst of energy. It's like we ain't dead, you know, we're not dinosaurs. We still have a great laugh, you know. We enjoy life more than we ever have. And
I think it shows on the album. It goes from one extreme to the other, much more than any of the other albums have. It goes from real fast, hard, to, you know,
driving
soft and
sobriety.
low. Thinking.
I thought you'd listen to my reasoning, but now I see you don't hear a thing. You know I would be if I only could, yeah. All of that it's all of that. It's all under there for me.
The first single to be lifted from more uncharted heights of disgrace is a cover version of The Small Faces' All or Nothing, a song that Tyler has been trying to get his fingers around for some time.
All or Nothing was like a song that I've always wanted to play but never known the chords. That's why I'm a songwriter, is because I can never ever play anybody else's material. I'll learn the first three chords and then I'll go, oh, I should put an F sharp in here, and oh, it's mine now. And so that's a hint. I just, Daryl taught me the chords and then, you know, the lyrics, and we didn't even listen to it at all, but we just played it, and that's how we thought it sounded. And even after we'd recorded it and everything,
Yeah,
we
2
suddenly
months
went, we
later.
got hold of the Small Faces version and put it on, and it's like, sure, it was great, it was #1 in 1966, but it's like, our version is so far removed from it, and it's really weird, because when we play it, it feels like the way I remember hearing it.
From the very start, the band's releases have always stood out due to Tyler's distinctive artwork. During a break in rehearsals, he gave us an insight into the way that the band produced them.
I'm not used to doing cover versions. If we've ever done them live, such as like Honky Tonk Women, I usually end up making up most of the words, and it's really hard to sing someone else's song, and I admire people who can do it well, you know. It's like you read All or Nothing, it's like, what the bloody hell is it? What's it about? And if you look at the lyrics, it's really hard. And Steve Marriott ain't around to sort of, well, I think Ronnie Lane might have written a lot of the lyrics. And I've never got to meet him, so I couldn't say, what was it about, you know, and then I just took my own, you know, I mean, like, here we are, it's basically like me coming back after being away, you know, and it's like, apart from the dosh in my hand, you know, it's just a bit of a kind of cliche drawing, really, you know. Look at me, I mean, I've escaped from jail, I've been, you know, the old pirate crap that we always put out, but it's, you know, it's a good laugh. We like to portray ourselves as a, you know, we're just a bunch of hopeless romantic bastards. When I write lyrics out and they get reduced to the, I mean, like, modern technology is taking everything down, so soon the album cover's going to be as big as your thumb or something, you know, because it's all compact and everything, and it doesn't take up, I mean, I used to love the old records, and you open them out, you get the gatefold sleeve. That was great. Now we've got the CD, and so it's like, well, you get a booklet, so, you know, bung in the poster, and this is like, that's, the poster's twice as big as this, actually. Bam's a great photographer, and he has a good eye for the, you know, he does with a camera what I do with a pencil, really.
And if you'd like to know